Welcome back to The Explainer. I want you to go ahead and settle in, because today we're charting a map through a very quiet, very dark territory. We're decoding the slow, silent drift of adult friendships. And look, this isn't a loud explosion. There's no dramatic movie scene in the pouring rain. It's more of a psychological descent. As your guide, I've put together this explainer to walk you through the architecture of an invisible prison that, honestly, we often just build for ourselves.
Think about this for a second. Nobody warns you when a friendship is dying. There's no final conversation, just slower replies. Really let that sit. Think about your own phone right now. You check that old group chat, the one that used to be an absolute nonstop barrage of memes, inside jokes, weekend plans, and now it's a graveyard. The very last message is just a simple, apathetic, haha reaction from 2 weeks ago? You aren't getting urgent texts from friends anymore. You're literally just getting automated delivery notifications. The silence doesn't happen all at once. It just creeps in.
Okay, let's dive into this first part, the slow death of friendship.
Picture this. You're sitting on your couch on a random Friday night. You're scrolling through your phone, and suddenly you feel it. It's this low, mechanical buzz right in your chest. And at first, you literally think it's your phone vibrating, but it's not. It's that stomach-dropping realization that you aren't just busy. Your social empire is experiencing a massive structural collapse. Welcome to the underworld of loneliness. Your circle is shrinking, and you, my friend, are the protagonist in this dark neo-noir narrative. Today, we're going to walk through what it is actually like to slowly lose your friends, and we'll map it out level by level, from the exact moment you become a mere spectator in your own life, straight down to the final, silent lockdown of total isolation. It's a fascinating, if kinda chilling, psychological structure.
So let's move into the second phase and actually enter this social underworld.
Let's open up the classified dossier here. We're going to look at the very first psychological levels of isolation you inevitably face as you start to descend. We start at level 1, the social watcher. You might be 22, maybe you're 30, and the change is so incredibly subtle you don't even notice the shackles cutting into your ankles yet. Your job just becomes simple. You watch the road. You see your friends posting stories at that new bar downtown and it hits you. You weren't invited. It is a profound, quiet sadness. But what do? Well, you rationalize it. You tell yourself it's a mistake, right? Just a mere technical glitch in the social machine. You become like a kid standing on the corner. To them, you are just furniture now. You watch the black SUVs of their new friend groups rolling into their lives. So you send a text, just a little bird or a snake in the grass, just to test the perimeter, just to see if they respond. They might wave as they drive by, sure, but they don't actually stop. You tell yourself you're still in. But the hard reality? You're standing on the outside of the corner house where the real life is actually happening.
And this brilliantly illustrates our transition into level 2, the effort transporter. By this stage, you realize that if this friendship is going to move even a single inch, you have to be the one driving the white semi-truck. You are the one initiating every single run, from your apartment to the coffee shop. And every single time you send that, "Hey, how are you?" text, your stomach absolutely drops. Why? Because you're pulling up to a checkpoint. You are sitting there waiting to see if they'll wave you through or if they're going to pull you over for a full inspection of your relevance.
500 kilograms. That is the sheer weight of what you're dealing with. You are moving 500 kilograms of pure emotional effort, literally lifting the entire relationship on your back. And what do you get in return at that checkpoint? A lowercase k, or maybe a thumbs up emoji if you're lucky. The return on investment is absolutely zero. You start to notice that your social work just becomes this dull routine. You stop being scared of the silence. And honestly, that is exactly when you get sloppy, you get apathetic, and you simply stop trying altogether.
Which drags us down to level 3, the social enforcer. This is where the problems are, people. And the solution? Well, it's violence. Now, not physical violence, obviously, but the targeted assassination of your own memories. You start cleaning your guns, so to speak. You clear out your followers list. You delete old photos that make your heart race. You wait outside the gym of your own nostalgia. And when a memory of an old road trip or a birthday party pops up, you send 2 shots to the head by muting their stories. You tell your mom you're just focused on work, playing the role of an import-export guy of your own time. But the truth? You're a dead man waiting for the next invitation that will never, ever come.
Now we hit part 3, where identity erosion and the cage really take over.
We're going deeper now, entering the absolute most dangerous stages of the underworld. This is where the isolation begins to actually strip away the very core of who you are. Notice the contrast here. On one side, you have the vibrant childhood memories of the person your friends used to genuinely like. But that guy, he doesn't exist anymore. Just like an undercover operative living behind a forged identity, you've practiced the accent of being a busy person for so long that you literally dream in it. You have become Verkrith Hoffman, the factory worker version of yourself. You just go to the office, you do the work, and you come home to a cot and a window facing a brick wall. You respond to your own name naturally, but you don't know whether to feel relieved or terrified because you can't quite locate yourself in your own social circle anymore. Your forged papers, the "I'm doing great" and "we should catch up soon" texts, they're failing the inspection.
And then you hit level 5, the golden cage. You become the regional chief. On the outside, you look completely undeniably successful. You've got the compound with the 20-foot walls, which, let's be real, is really just a high-paying job and a nice apartment that you never actually leave. You have traded your freedom for power. You miss the metaphorical weddings and funerals because you're too high profile. You're too busy, and the paranoia just eats you alive. You think your head of security, which is really just your own ego, is working for the DEA of your insecurities. You execute your old hobbies based off suspicion alone, thinking they're just skimming your valuable time.
Now, if you actually try to escape this cage by forcing new connections, you slam right into level 6, blood in, blood out. You realize there is absolutely no retirement plan for these old friendships. So to stay in, to feel literally anything, you have to put in brutal work. You start smashing the windows of your own boundaries just to stay relevant. You try to get jumped into new circles, but man, it is a beating. You survive 13 rounds of brutal small talk and forced laughter at networking events until your vision literally blurs and you physically taste blood from the absolute exhaustion of it all. But the truly tragic part? You're marked. The police of your own conscience know your face, and they've permanently placed you in a database labeled Verified Lonely Member.
Which brings us to the 4th phase, the social supermax reckoning.
And here we are, the absolute rock bottom of the descent. The feds of time and distance have finally built their RICO case against your social life, and the verdict is in. Level 7, the social supermax. This is the ADX Florence of the mind. You are sent to a state where you sit in isolation 23 hours a day. Think about that, 23 hours. Your cell is just a 6 by 9 foot comfort zone of your own making.
There is no escape. No bribery works here, and no army can break you out. You finally realize that luck isn't a strategy, and yours, it just ran out. You sit there, maybe you're 44, maybe you're 54. You look at the graduation photos of the life you could have had, and you cry for an hour because the appeals failed. You've spent more time in this cell than anywhere else in the entire world.
But let me ask you a question. A real question to jolt us out of this despair for a minute. Is there an escape clause? Like, can you actually break out of this facility before the machine of process completely destroys you?
That brings us to Phase 5, the Friendship Extraction Plan.
Let's move to and see how this builds. If you're currently reading the death warrant of your social life, I am officially handing you the clemency petition. Here is your tactical extraction plan to pull yourself out of the underworld. Step 1. Acknowledge the false alarm. Look, most of the time, the incoming missile threat of "everyone hates me" is literally just a computer error. Don't lie on the concrete floor waiting for an explosion that hasn't come. Pick up the phone and send a real text. Step 2. Stop being furniture. If you feel unmarked at a party, respond with maximum force by actually being vulnerable. Don't just watch the road, walk into the house. Step 3. Burn the Veer Hoffman folder. Seriously, stop playing the factory worker. Burn the forged papers in the sink and tell someone you are actually struggling. Step 4. Avoid the blood ritual of fake loyalty. You do not have to drink the liquid of a toxic friend group just to be bound for life. If the oaths are too severe, resign. Walk away. And Step 5. Break the cycle of violence. Please don't be the next kid sitting on a plastic chair waiting to be lonely.
Finally, we reach Part 6, running your own block.
So, the crucial point is, this is the climax of the entire structure, a hidden stage of social autonomy. Level 8, the shot caller. This is the ultimate moment of clarity. This is when you realize that even in prison, even when you feel totally, completely alone, you can still run the block of your own happiness. You are empowered to settle disputes within your own mind. You can order hits on your own bad habits. You stop waiting for the warden to let you out because guess what? You own the yard.
The trap didn't actually close at the prison gates. Actually, scratch that. It closed the moment you said yes to the easy money of surface-level connections. You built the underworld, which means you absolutely have the power to tear it down. The blueprint is right there in your hands. So as we close out this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this.
Are you going to serve your time in silence, or are you ready to become the shot caller of your own life? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.